What's poppin', people? I'm Rated D and I've tested positive for swag, and I've got the most cinematic gaming channel on YouTube. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about today is horror games. Now, if you're a fan of horror games, then your only option when it comes to these next-gen systems is the PlayStation 4, and I'm going to explain this to you guys. As you can see, I'm showing you some Bloodborne gameplay right now, and it's not the scariest game ever, but it's definitely a spooky game, you know? And it's got some horror elements to it. Bloodborne might end up being Game of the Year. This game is amazing. And I've got tons of gameplay. This is just the second boss fight. I don't know if this video runs long enough, I might start to include some more gameplay. But anyway, the point is, Bloodborne is a masterpiece, and it's a PS4 exclusive, and it's got horror elements to it. It's very atmospheric. The environment is amazing. And like I said, it could end up being Game of the Year. It's amazing. Now, aside from Bloodborne, what else do you have when it comes to horror games on PS4? You've got, when the PS4 was coming out, I remember I was ready to get Outlast on PC, but they were talking about how it's coming to PlayStation 4. So I was like, you know, I'm not going to get it on PC, I'll just wait for it to come to PS4. On top of that, when it came to PS4, it was one of the free PlayStation Plus games for that month. So, and on top of that, it was a console exclusive for the PS4 for like 8 months or something. It didn't come to Xbox until like months and months later, you know? And it still has moments, like overall, Outlast on PS4, there are moments where on the Xbox One, the frame rate drops, and on PS4, it still stays fairly high. Like overall, it's pretty much 60 frames the entire game, but there are moments where it drops on the Xbox One, and it does not really drop on the PS4. So it's still, we have the definitive console version of Outlast on PS4. Aside from that, PT, which was, is, and always will be a PlayStation 4 exclusive, you know, that came to us at Sony's Gamescom conference last year. Now, sadly, we all know the story. If you don't have it right now, you can never play it. But for those of us that have it, you know, believe me, I'll be posting gameplays of it. I'll be posting live streams and stuff like that. I plan on starting streams more often over this summer. So I'll definitely stream PT a couple times. Now, aside from Outlast and PT, what do you have? Until Dawn, which is a very unique horror game. It's like, it plays similar to Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. That's coming out this summer on PS4 exclusively. So that's another great horror game that's a PS4 exclusive, okay? Like I said, we already have Bloodborne. That's a PS4 exclusive. It's never come... Neither one of these games are coming to any other platforms, ever, you know? And what do we have for the future? I mean, it's funny how, so far, just the first couple years of the PS4 being out, we have all these great horror games, you know? And... you know, PT specifically is such a unique case. It's something, you don't see this type of stuff very often. It's one of the best horror games ever made, and if you strip it down to what it really is at its core, it's just a 10-minute demo. But that 10 minutes can take you forever to beat if you don't know how to complete the puzzles. The game flipped game design on its head. It's absolutely insane. Plus, we all know the crazy story surrounding PT. You know, there's still mysteries inside the PT game that we haven't solved yet. It's absolutely insane. So, like I said, we had Outlast, PT, Bloodborne, Until Dawn, and what else do we have for the future? That's just the first couple years. For the future, something that we know... Oh, and The Evil Within, which is a multi-plat. I forgot to mention that. But for the future, this is the thing that I personally am most excited about, is the fact that the Sony Bend open world horror game that's coming out, that's going to be insane. And like I said before, I had a feeling that it was going to be more of a survival type of thing. And according to Shinobi, that's the case. He posted on NeoGAF that it's going to have a Last of Us vibe. Forget the infected, I mean like human enemies and stuff like that. So, people inside of Sony are going absolutely insane about this game. It's going to be huge. I think it's going to be shown at E3. A lot of people think it's going to be shown at E3. And that's another PS4 exclusive. It's using Unreal Engine 4. One of the people at Sony Bend is like, I can't remember, it was like on the committee or something for Unreal Engine 4. So they're going to take full advantage of that engine on the PlayStation 4. You know, they're going to optimize it as best as you possibly can. Apparently it looks insane. The gameplay is crazy. You know, I can't wait to see this game, dude. So, like I said, Outlast was a console exclusive when it first came out on the PS4, and on top of that, we got it for free. Okay, so even the Xbox fans, they didn't get it for free. We got it for free. Plus, our version's the better console version. PT was masterful. It was ridiculously unique, and it's really one of the most special and unique cases in all of gaming history. Like I said, we still get the multiplats like Evil Within. You know, Bloodborne is a masterpiece. I'm still playing it. Like, I'm taking my time with it. I'm not gonna rush through it, especially when it's an RPG as well. So you gotta level up and all this stuff. So Bloodborne's great. We've got Until Dawn coming. You know, we've got the Sony Bend game coming, and it's an open world survival horror game. It's gonna be insane, dude. It's not like H1Z1 or DayZ or anything like that. Imagine The Last of Us as an open world game, dude. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be crazy. So, like I said, dude, all this stuff exclusive. You know, except like I said, multiplats like the Evil Within. Outlast eventually came to Xbox, but we still got it free. The majority of this stuff it's got some sort of PlayStation exclusivity, you know? And that's why, you know, like I said, for fans of horror games, PlayStation 4 is really your only option. I mean, the Wii U, we all know that it doesn't really feature anything horror-based for obvious reasons. The Xbox One, let's face it, dude, all they care about is shooters. And now that the system's not doing well, they're trying to revive old Xbox games, and that's not gonna be too successful. I mean, we see what's happened with Phantom Dust. So yeah, I mean, and specifically with Phantom Dust, let me just have a brief explanation. Microsoft showed off a CGI trailer for Phantom Dust last E3 when the developer that was working on it wasn't even ready to show that. They didn't even know Microsoft was going to show it. Microsoft showed it to drive up hype and say, oh, we've got exclusives. And then what happened? They basically fired the developer because the developer couldn't do what they needed to do with the budget Microsoft was giving them. So Microsoft was disappointed that the game didn't turn out too well, or wasn't turning out too well, and the developer was saying, we need more money, we can't do this. So Microsoft got rid of them. That's how Microsoft operates, people. And that's exactly why PlayStation is the way to go. So that's it, guys. Later.